Welcome to the Brow Report. It is a live edition of the show. Thanks so much for watching us on Periscope, YouTube, listening to us live on blogtalkradio.com/Brow Report. Thanks so much for watching and listening to us. We greatly appreciate it. Tonight on the show, many topics as normal. Steve, the producer, is back in the studio tonight, so make sure to give us a call tonight, 347-884-8627. That's 347-884-8627 to tell us what's on your mind. All things politics are on tap tonight. Bill is under the weather, so he is taking the night off. And just as a friendly reminder, tomorrow night we are off. I have a previously scheduled engagement, so I will be off the air tomorrow night, but we are possibly doing a Friday night show, still in the works, so we will let everyone know, if anything, by late Thursday or early Friday at the latest, if we're going to have a live show on Friday. So let's get a word from producer Steven tonight and see what's going on with him. What's up, Steven?
Hey, what's up, man? Great to be back.
I'm glad to have you back. Where were you, man?
Oh, man, I've been busy. I recently got married.
Oh, you got married.
I got married the week before I got married. I got a terrible cold, and I still have it. And I probably gave it to Bill over the rotary phone. Those things are nasty. And we went on a honeymoon. We had a great cruise, and my in-laws were in town, and all that good stuff. So I've been MIA, but I'm really stoked. We got a lot of great things coming up on the Brower Report. We kind of hinted at it a couple weeks ago. We're working on a man on the street kind of idea.
Yep.
So we're going to get regular people just like you. We're going to get your views. We want to know what the regular people think. The American people need to have their voice heard, and if they're afraid to say it, they can only say it in confidence of a couple of people in a group. We want to broadcast that. We want everybody to know that your opinion does matter.
And the great thing is, what we're going to do, and I encourage you, if you're watching Periscope and not on the app, you're watching it on the live TV side. We see a lot of y'all doing that. That's wonderful. We appreciate it because we don't want to waste your data plan. But we encourage you to share the link with other people, because the only way we can grow the show is through a grassroots effort. We don't have millions and billions of dollars like Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, and the big major networks. This is a grassroots effort, so we encourage you to share the link with people. Share the app. Tell them, follow at Brower Report. Everything, if you Google Brower Report on Facebook, search it, you're going to find our Facebook page. Like our Facebook page, you'll get great infographics, you're going to get great articles, you're going to get information you can use all the time. News and views that you can use is what we say on the Brower Report. So tonight, remember, Steven's in the studio. Give us a call if you're listening live on blogtalkradio.com/Brower Report. Thank you. And remember, you can download on iTunes. Search out iTunes with Brower Report in Google. You'll get it right there, and it's all for free. And that's, if it's free, it's for me. Right, Steven?
That's it. Except for STDs. I don't want those. Those are free, but I don't want them.
No, those cost a lot of money in the end. Literally.
I guess that depends on what part tab you live in.
Yeah, it really depends. If you have good health insurance, a good penicillin, you're good to go. So tonight on the show, we got so many topics tonight. So Steven will be posting and sharing on the Facebook page. We also have Tyson that's also helping us with the show. He's our infographic specialist, and he's also helping us with social media. So folks, we are growing. If you want to be a part of the program, just, let us know. Go to our Facebook page, message us. We will message you back. Right, Steven? We message people back on our Facebook page.
That's it. I don't think there's ever been a time, whether good, wrong, indifferent, bad, encouragement, we always respond. We always know what everybody has to say, and, we don't know where we stand until we have the viewers let us know what they think. Hey, if the show sucks, tell us so we can fix it, okay?
Yeah, tell us.
Great, awesome, let us know, But absolutely, if you want to message us, you can send us a message on Facebook. You can post on the wall. Whatever you need to do to get a hold of us, do it. If you know us personally and you listen to the show, send us a PM. We'll get back to you. We want our listeners to be involved in the show. That's a great aspect of the show that some internet, broadcasts don't have. They want to do their own thing. We want everybody involved. That's America, baby.
And here's the thing, Steven. Remember when people said, I love the Periscope app, but I can't rewind or fast forward to get where I may have left off? You know what we did, Steven? We put it on YouTube. Because the people said, hey, we want more accessibility to the show. And what we did? We said, we're going to give it to you. They said, we want to see video. We gave it to the people. They want feel-good stories. We give it to the people. If you want to hear certain things that are interesting, you want our take on it, tell us. That's the only way that we know, because here's the thing. We don't have millions of dollars to focus groups that pretty much suck anyways. I mean, focus groups, come on. But we want to know what's on your minds, the American people, and we will take your calls. It's a guarantee, Brown Report guarantee. You call in tonight, we promise to get you on the air. Stephen will get you in the studio, and we will talk to you tonight. That's a guarantee from us. Well, let's get to the show. Stephen, if you want to chime in, let me know. Otherwise, keep on sharing. That's what we do here. We share the wealth of the knowledge of the Brown Report with the people.
You know, on this next story, I'll have a few things to throw against the wall and see what sticks.
And we may not totally... Yeah, we may not totally agree on everything tonight, but we're going to have a good discussion about that. So let's get into the meat of the situation, the Syrian situation with Russia. I have, you know what, and you can disagree with me, Stephen, if you want to in a few minutes. Assad, I don't see this guy as a bad guy. This guy, and just a little background on him, and we talked about on the show before. Assad, he is a medically trained doctor in England. Now, his dad may not have been the best guy in the world, but I'm looking at Assad and I'm like, he's kind of painted himself, the world has painted him in a corner right now. No one really wants to be siding with Assad. So we've been backing these rebels, and the White House can deny it all they want. How much we've been funding them, how much weapons we give them to try to overthrow Assad. Several months ago, there was a report that Assad used chemical weapons against his people. I highly doubt that occurred. Because here's the thing. If this really had occurred with Assad's regime doing it, I think we'd have had a lot more press coverage on it. I think it's either, one, the rebels did it to get sympathy, or ISIS did it to stir the pot and hopefully get Assad overthrown. I don't think, and I'll put my name on the line here, I don't think this whole Syrian thing, we're getting the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I think Assad is getting painted into a corner. He may have aligned himself with Iran and Russia, but dear God, who's aligning with him? Who wants to align with this guy? And I've seen him in interviews, and honestly, the guy seems pretty moderate to me. I don't think this guy's really a bad guy. I think this guy is just, he cannot get his message out there. He's fighting ISIS. He's fighting these rebels, this supposed JV team. I bet ISIS is in the middle of these rebels trying to fight him. He's just trying to survive right now. And here's the thing. Russia's coming in. And Russia's like, we're going to bomb these rebels. And they're probably going to bomb ISIS too. And people are like saying, Matthew, why is Russia so interested in Syria? Well, they have access to water. And that's what the Russians want. They want access. If they don't have access to the Middle East, and here's the thing, Syria and ISIS is not very far from their borders. Look at a map. Look at Iraq. Look at Syria. Look in that area. If this thing starts spilling over a little bit more north, it's going to get pretty close to more Russian interest. They have a vested interest in getting this under control. Because President Obama, I'm sorry, this guy is the JV team. Mark my words. President Obama is a JV team. Not a high school JV team. He's the middle school, 6th grader JV team. This guy he's a community organizer. He can't even organize his closet probably. This guy is that bad. So he is like saying, we're going to draw a red line in the sand in Syria. And if Assad crosses that line, we're not going to take it. Here's the thing. As soon as that was said, relatively quickly, there was a chemical attack. I don't think Assad had anything to do with that. Why would he, in any situation, want the United States of America to bomb his country? He wouldn't want that. He wants help to defeat these rebels. And these rebels are not the rebels that you want in the United States or anywhere else. And I'm sure that these rebels, they're probably infiltrating the refugees going to Europe and coming to the United States. And I'm sure there's ISIS involved in that too. So this big, huge mess, and the Russians have a vested interest in this area to get this cleaned up. And for once, I think that Obama should say thank you to Putin, because Putin's actually saying, hey, I'm going to clean up your mess, Obama. Stephen, what do you think?
Well, I think the old chess masters beating Master Obama in some Connect Four, but we'll never say that. You know, I always like to use that little analogy because it's so suiting. I agree with you. As far as the instability in the region, there is no way to tell who used chemical weapons. I'm a firm believer that somebody did use them. They got out, they got into somebody's hands, and they were used. You know, I know from a personal friend that they had deployed some U.S. military servicemen to possibly go into Syria because of the chemical weapons that were being used. Now, how they were dispersed, were they dropping bombs, were they bombs put off on the ground, you know, were they airborne agents, who knows? But as far as Russia is concerned with this attack that happened today, I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to help Assad. Like you said, he's painted into a corner. He's good, bad, and different. He's everything. He can't project himself and say, I'm this, and be accepted as that in the media because you have all these different factions. You have Assad soldiers, you have anti-Assad, you have ISIS, you have ISIL, you have all these different caliphate factions that fly under the ISIS flag. They're still fighting each other at the same time. So I think the one thing that I would like to find out is what is Russia's main objective in this era? I don't even know if I want to call it a campaign because it's only one day airstrike. But what's their objective in this? You know, if they tell us that, you know, they want to do X, Y, and Z, is that really what you know, it's always smoke and mirrors. We know that. It's the media in the world. We're not going to get the real answer in this way that we did.
Yeah, I don't know what the end game is here. I honestly don't. In terms of what the United States end game is going to be, they're always accusing Syria of being in line with Iran and wanting to attack Israel. Honestly, Stephen, I continue to doubt the administration's honesty here. What they're always trying to do is try to paint someone as a bad guy. You know, Assad, he's siding with Iran. He's siding with Russia. Here's the thing. It's kind of like back in the 50s with Cuba. And I go back in history because, you know, the United States, we always seem to repeat history. We try to alienate countries and we don't talk to them. Now, Castro was a bad dude in Cuba. I get that. But he came to the United States and wanted to talk to us. And what do? We said, kick rocks down the street. So who did he go to? Soviet Union. So now we've told Assad to kick rocks down the street. He's desperate as hell. He's just trying to save his country, for crying out loud. So what does he do? He goes to the next best step with a decent-sized military, saying, hey, Russia, I need your help. I need your help to keep me up. And I think that's what this is, history repeating itself once again.
Well, I was talking to Matt earlier today, and I told him, you know, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm not too familiar with Assad's politics, but it wouldn't surprise me if Russia tried to go in there and prop him up. Not make him a full-blown puppet of a conflict state, but it's something to boost him. I mean, they asked us for help and weapons, and then we gave weapons, and guess what? In Iraq happened. They took all of our shit, and then they started killing the people we were trying to help. So we didn't really do the best job of helping them out. So I concur with you on that point. There's a strong likelihood that, you know, Putin's looking for an ally in the region.
Yeah, I want to believe that Assad is painted into a corner. I really do. Because when I see this guy on TV during the interviews, you get a feeling about somebody when they're cool, calm, and collected. It's like, listen, I'm just trying to do what I can do to survive here. I think that's the situation. This is not like Iraq, circa 1991-ish, trying to invade Kuwait and trying to take over a region. This is not Iran trying to become a global nuclear power. This is not, Venezuela. This is not North Korea. This is a country that has a strategic value to the Russians. And the Russians are like, hey, if this thing falls, it's not good for us. And personally, with President Obama, he doesn't really care about Syria. Because if he really cared about it, he would have done something early on. And I think if it was smart, he would have reached out to Assad and said, hey, listen, we're going to help you prop this thing up. And all we do in the Middle East, folks, and mark my words, this is the God-honest, the truth. I'm not lying to you. Every time we get involved in these damn things in the Middle East, we always mess with these secular dictators. These dictators are not hard-line Islamists. All we do is overthrow them. Gaddafi in Libya. He was a bad dude at one point, really bad dude, but guess what? He was not this hardline Islamist. What did we do? We got rid of him. Guess what happened? We got a bunch of terrorists. We go to Egypt. We get rid of the president there. Then we put up a puppet Muslim Brotherhood guy at Morsi. That's the stupidest thing you could do. Guess what? A bunch of issues happen. Then we go into Iraq. We invaded Iraq. We overthrow Saddam. Guess what we get? We get a government of Islamists. I mean, every time we do this, Stephen, we continue to do this stupid Western-style democracy injection into these countries. And I'm sorry, but if they have belief systems that are 1,000 years behind the times, where they stone gays, stone lesbians, behead Christians, all these things, they make women wear burqas, they don't let them drive. Well, Hillary Clinton doesn't drive, but I guess that's her own choice. But every time we invade these places, we make them a hell of a lot worse. Why would anybody trust the United States when all we do is cause problems? Stephen, tell me if I'm wrong or not.
You know what I heard, though? I heard that Saks Fifth Avenue was going to make a burqa pantsuit. So, see it.
Nice.
But, anyway, I don't want to say it in a bad way, but it's kind of like taking a hardcore Republican or a hardcore Democrat and their mother and their father and their grandfather and themselves and their child, the fourth generation down the line, just 200 years, you're taught to think this one way. You can't break somebody of that overnight, and you sure as hell can't do it by force. If you do it by, the means of the military is winning hearts and minds. And, that's what they try to do to inject this Western-style democracy and, kind of make it happen. When, I think that was, is that Karzai, who's the president of Afghanistan? He's pretty moderate, but still, on the other hand, he's letting all this blue on blue, green on green, Afghan National Guard and Afghan National Police kill U.S. soldiers, and they just kind of look away at it. That's because they're ingrained in this mindset that we're going to do what we're going to do. Yeah, we'll take all your free stuff, but we're still going to do what we want to. So I think it's kind of pointless. Kind of a standpoint of mind our own business, but I understand the proactive portion of it as well. But in an overall sense, I think you're absolutely right. You hit the nail on the head. We put these people in power, and we lose one tyrant to a tyrannical, Islamic extremist that has, hundreds of thousands of followers. I think I'd rather take the devil that I know than the devil that I don't know.
Exactly. And folks, if you're watching on Periscope right now, thank you. Please share us on your Periscope feed, on your Twitter feed. We want to get as many people in the conversation. If you'd like to call into radio shows, we will take your calls tonight. It's a guarantee while we're on the air. 347-884-8627. If you like us, tell us what you like. If you don't like us, tell us what you don't like by going to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Brower Report. Post on our wall, message us. We do return your messages, and it doesn't have a beep or a really lame voicemail message. I've heard plenty of those in my lifetime. So we're going to move from Assad here, and we're going to go to a Daily Caller story. Some people don't like the Daily Caller that much. They think it's kind of gossipy and stuff. But you know what? I mean, when they hit the nail on the head, sometimes they do nail it on the head when they do it. Daily Caller has an article in regards to how a woman defrauded the food stamp system for $3.6 million. Stephen, you remember what was that movie? Oh man, Austin Powers, $1 million. Yeah, but this chick did $3.6 million of food stamp fraud. So I'm going to read some of the article to the folks tonight. Convenience store owner Bida Ofori-Causey of Worcester, Massachusetts, was charged in federal court after pleading guilty to $3.6 million of food stamp fraud. According to authorities, Causey abused the program between 2010 and 2014 food stamps are officially known as Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP, because you snap your fingers and you get free stuff. It's run by local and federal agencies and is overseen by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which is the USDA. She was able to scam the program by buying food stamp benefits from recipients for half of the actual value. Stephen, in the area where we live, we had a meat market get busted recently for around $4 million worth of food stamp fraud. Do you remember that came out not too long ago, Stephen, about that $4 million one?
Absolutely, I do. Let me hit on this real quick.
Yeah.
I used to work at a convenience store years ago, and I talked to one person who was a friend of this person who was doing a similar act. So what they would do is they'd get married for about a year. They'd have kids from separate marriages. They would get divorced, put a different address on the wife's driver's license. The husband and wife would still live together. The mother would get child support taken out of the check, tax-free. She would also get food stamps for each one of her children, and also she would get alimony on top of that. So that's just a little taste of one person. So imagine the scheme that this woman pulled off. I mean, ridiculous.
It's just the amount of money here. We're talking, if you keep adding all the millions up, you're going to get into billions of dollars. This is nothing new. I mean, this is a scam. And I know that years ago they used to sell the paper food stamps for 50 cents on the dollar or 25 cents on the dollar. So they thought if they did this, these EBT cards where they have to use PIN numbers and stuff, that it would actually solve the problem. It hasn't solved the problem. When there's government programs, Stephen, this is a fact of life. Every time you have a government program, people find ways to defraud the government programs. So the easiest way to stop defrauding government programs is to end the government programs. Because they're always saying, we need to help people. In this war on poverty, folks, it sucks. I mean, we have spent trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars to help people get out of poverty. We have the most people in poverty in the United States history right now. But we spent trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars to make them poor. It makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. So, Stephen, we spent I'm trying to grasp this. We spent trillions upon trillions upon trillions and upon trillions of dollars since the 60s with Lyndon Johnson's Great Society, the War on Poverty. And we have almost 50 million people on food stamps. We have 94 million people that don't work in the United States. And we're talking about, spending more because we've got to help people. And I think Ronald Reagan had it best. The best social program is a job. This is crazy, Stephen.
It's ridiculous, I think the problem is it's a generational thing.
Mm-hmm.
People that get a handout will continue to get a handout. It's like I was reading something about Bernie Sanders the other day and, free college, and I told somebody, I was like, why would you go to college when you can sit at home and get free money and make more money possibly than if you went to school and had to try and had to go to a job and you can sit at home and get free shit? Of course you're not going to work. It's not going to happen. Whatever happened to social charity, whatever happened to, Salvation Army, to Red Cross, to, all these churches, Catholic charities is big. I'm not a Catholic myself, but it's big. I mean, there's so many charitable groups out there that will help people, but they have to get a job. Here in the Central Florida area, there's a group called Lighthouse Ministries or throughout Central Florida, and they help people that are, impoverished or are on food stamps. They help them get a job, give them a place to stay, but in order to stay there and be fed, you have to have a job. And guess what? Nobody stays there because they can stay at home and get free money without working.
Exactly. And that's the scary part here, is that we continue to have this issue in the United States where we have people that just sit on the sidelines. And I always say this, Stephen, and I'm not this heartless guy. I know people out there that cannot work. I have a totally disabled niece that's 10 years old. Totally disabled, will never be able to work. Guaranteed. Okay? Unless a miracle of God and Jesus comes down and touches her and heals her. That's how bad it is. My sister and her husband need help. I get that. But until we get the people back to work. And I'm looking for the one candidate here, Stephen, and I don't know if that candidate's out there yet for president. But we just don't need a president that would say it. We need a Congress and a Senate that will actually damn do it for the first time in history. That will actually get off their tails and stop taking the corporate money and the lobbyist money and stop being greedy for themselves and start thinking for once about the people. And I'm not saying socialism for the people. I'm talking about giving the people the ability to create jobs, to open businesses, and stop worrying about the damn IRS or any other government agencies breathing over their back saying, I'm going to take your money. I'm going to take your freedom. Once they take your economic freedom, you are absolutely screwed. Look at any country that controls their economy, any country, and you will see less freedom. It's all about economic freedom. If you take the money and the ability to better yourself out of the equation, you are living in a society that is completely controlled. That's a guarantee, mark my words.
And I think that if it's at all feasible fiscally, I'm not a financial advisor by any means, as we like to say on the show.
Yeah.
Throughout one broadcast. If you abolish the IRS, granted you don't get tax dollars for needed government programs, but you cut the throat of all those people that are not, not the physical sense, but metaphorically, you cut the throats of those people that are leeching off the system. You bleed it dry. You cut the head off the beast. It's a done deal. Or you abolish it in general. I've always personally subscribed, just my thinking, if you're on welfare for 1 year, you don't pay anything back. Anything after that, you pay back 2% up to 10 years. After 10 years, you have to wait another 5 years to qualify. There's no reason you need to be on the ship for 10 years. You can get a job in 10 years. You can be self-sufficient. You can get help. There's support groups. There's, group homes out there, or family assistances, or counseling, or charity networks, or what have you. There's a multitude of outlets for people that can, go to an outreach program to get help, but they don't want it. And that's the sad thing. We keep paying and paying and paying, and it's never going to go anywhere. It's a vicious cycle. We're spinning our wheels in the mud, and we're going deeper. We're rooster tailing.
Okay, here's what I proposed. I proposed this last night on the show, and I've had different variations of it, but I think I nailed it for the first time. I think I really got this. I said we can call this. Let's mark this moment in history on the Brown Report, September 30th, 2015. The 2015 welfare. Okay, I'm trying to think of the good wording here, because this is important, because if a congressman's listening, or a senator maybe, if we have some fans out there that can contact somebody, in the Congress or the Senate, I'm trying to think of a good word here, Stephen. The welfare, welfare reform bill of 2015. I think that sounds good. So what I proposed, yeah, and what I proposed last night on the show, and hopefully people like this because I like it. Maybe it's just my idea, so I like it. So I proposed that what we do is we do a 2 to 5 year plan, and more leading to the 5-year plan because I think it gives people more time. So we give a 5-year warning. We pass the bill and we say effective January 1st, 2016. We're going to start a jobs program in the United States. You have 5 years, so effective January 1st, 2021. If you are on welfare, and the welfare will end. Now we will have exceptions for people that are completely disabled and they can prove it. But everybody has to start, pretty much 99.9% of Americans need to get off their lazy tails and start getting back to work. What I proposed is a job training program paid for by the taxpayers of the United States. Get people skills again. Plumbers, electricians, roofers, construction, medical field. Get people trained. Because I'm thinking if you take the rug from under people, Stephen, that's not really fair to people. Say, hey, I'm going to end it, but I'm not going to help you get a way out of it. I'm going to screw you over because you're dependent for generations on welfare. It's going to take some time. So I say give a 5-year program, 5 years of free educational assistance based on for the taxpayers. to pay for. But after that, it ends. The food stamps end, the Section 8 housing ends, you name it. The EBT cards with cash on them ends. Sorry, folks, we can't afford it anymore. We're almost 19 trillion in debt. By the time 2021 comes around, we'll be well over the 20 trillion mark in debt. And it's time for us to say no more. And I think that would be the best way to do it. Be compassionate, have a plan. But here's the thing, Stephen. None of these congressmen, none of these senators, none of these presidential candidates have a damn plan. And here's the thing, Stephen. If I could run for office, if my wife would, she wouldn't say no to me to run for office. But if anybody that has the resources that can get on the ballot and bring this forward, a simple one-page plan, it just has to be one page, Stephen. It's all we need to change the course of this country and get people back to work. One page, just a few paragraphs. We don't need subsection this or subsection that, add amendments onto it, a straight up and down vote. And let's get people back to work in this country. What do you think, Stephen? Am I right or am I wrong here?
I agree with you 100% on all points. My only fear, if it was ever implemented, is there would be class warfare. And it's not color, race, creed, religion, class. You would have the lower class, and I say lower class, people that don't want to work, not people that can't work, totally different, subsection. People that don't want to work, that want the money from the government, they won't take the program, they'll do what they want, you'll see crime rates skyrocket, you'll see robberies, carjackings. I may be totally off the map, but they're not going to subscribe to that. There's no rational explanation that you could give them and say, hey, we're Americans. Where's your sense of national patriotism? We need to commit to each other. We need to become the greatest nation again. We need to bring money in. We need our GDP to get bigger. It's the education. They've chosen not to be educated because they can get free money without education. And the fact that they're not educated makes them ignorant to the facts, even when explained. I think that's the only flaw with what you said. And it's nothing with the actual proposal that you said. I think it's the potential outcome of the proposal.
Well, here's the thing. If you did a year or two, I can see that really escalating quite quickly, Stephen. But I'm saying give it 5 years. 5 years. That's more than a presidential term, more than 2 House terms, and almost a whole term of the Senate. So this will give people the time that they really need to get back to school. Some trade programs last 1 or 2 years. So, they could, if they don't like one program, go to another one. But it's time. This country was not built on food stamps, Section 8 housing, EBT cards. It was not built on that. It was built on hard-working Americans doing what had to be done to get things done. It was built on paychecks, not welfare checks. That's how this country was built. And folks, if you want to change things in this country, you've got to change things for the better yourself. If your congressman, your senator, your state legislator, whatever, your House member, your Senate member, doesn't get it, then you need to find someone, either run yourself or get someone to run against them. I believe this, Stephen, wholeheartedly, that we've got to have people that will run in these primaries. I live in a district in Florida 15. I really think that we need to have people run in these primaries all around the country to give people a choice. I really do. But let's go to the next story tonight. Phony ambassador running Obama's anti-Islamic State diplomacy. Stephen, the funny thing about this part is I did not know there was an anti-Islamic State diplomacy department in the Obama administration. All I thought was it was anti-Christian, but that's how I feel.
Go talk to CARE. They'll tell you about everything you need to know.
Oh, here's what I want. I want someone to open up the CARE less. You have CARE, the Council on, the Council for Islamic Relations. Why don't we just have the anti-CARE?
American Islamic Relations.
Yeah, I want to do the CARE less because we can care less what they think. And here's the thing. I'm going to read this article because you need some insight to what this is. He was using this title for a while. So the Obama administration official most likely in line to become the next U.S. envoy to the coalition to counter the Islamic State. And here's the thing. Is this another agency or government program, Stephen? Is this something that was approved by Congress? If it wasn't, they need to go ahead and just dismantle this thing, but that's besides it. And it says, this guy has falsely presented himself as an official U.S. ambassador by the administration for the last 5 months. According to documents received by the Washington Free Beacon, Brett McGurk, a deputy special envoy to the Global Coalition who serves under General John Allen, was temporarily appointed by the administration as an ambassador on October 18th of 2014. He was conferred this rank through the little-known legal loophole, another loophole here, Stephen, that allows the administration to bypass congressional confirmation of an individual for a period of no longer than 6 months. Ambassadors confirmed by the Senate have the title for life. So, like Ambassador John Bolton to the UN, he can always call himself an ambassador for the rest of his life because he was confirmed by the Senate. McGurk's temporary ambassadorship, which cannot be extended under U.S. law, ended in April of this year. Yet McGurk has continued to use the honorific, they say honorific, which is kind of weird, when defending the administration's Syria policy on television and print media. Until last night, when the Free Beacon contacted the State Department to inquire about the discrepancy, McGurk's official biography on the State Department website also falsely credited McGurk with the rank of ambassador. State Department officials have referred to him as Ambassador McGurk in press briefings well after the term of this title expired. Following multiple media inquiries, the Free Beacon on Tuesday, the State Department altered the website to remove the honorific. Honorific? Is that like, Googleicious? I mean, Stephen.
Oh, I'm thinking honorary. That's what it is.
Honorific. I mean, I need to look up Wikipedia. Is this guy's name honorific? I'm waiting for Fergie to come out saying, I'm bootylicious or something. It's like, I'm waiting for that. Honorific? They're using these weird words tonight. Just weird words. But he was nominated in 2012 to serve as President Obama's ambassador to Iraq. His appointment was withdrawn after the Free Beacon reported on a series of leaked emails sent from his official State Department account describing an intimate relationship with his former Wall Street Journal reporter Gina Cohn, who resigned her position as a result of the controversy. So another email controversy here, Stephen, with the State Department emails. So he was apparently hooking up with somebody, leaking emails, and guess where he's at? He's falsely using a title, and guess what? He's not. He's not locked up. Now, General Petraeus...
Oh, you like Petraeus, who got shit canned?
Oh, yeah.
Like, touche.
And he didn't really do it. Here's the problem. He had apparently some stuff lying around in a desk at his house when he got raided by the FBI. So if it wasn't for that, he wasn't leaking emails. Apparently he had some stuff printed out that was easily accessible to the girl that he was with. So, Hillary Clinton's just sending emails through her server all day long about yoga pants and pantsuits and classified information, apparently. But this guy, he was going around on CNN, I think he was on Meet the Press, and they were calling him ambassador, but he did not correct them. And he knew it was a temporary position. Come on. I mean, he knew it was temporary. It was not, a permanent thing. But as always, the Obama administration is always so transparent. Always. The most transparent administration in the history of the world strikes again. And Ambassador Brett McGurk is not an ambassador. He's more on the JV team. And he never got to stay as an ambassador. But very interesting that it takes the Free Beacon to nail this guy to the wall. And apparently he was nailing that Wall Street Journal reporter as well with the leaked emails. But he's not in jail, Stephen, I just cannot believe that we continue to see these members of the Obama administration dropping the ball all the time. They are the ultimate JV team. They don't understand anything at all.
It's a self-appointed group of friends. It's all handpicked, just like any political cabinet. But it's like, it's like picking the kid that's, 5'1" and, 111 pounds to play dodgeball. He's not doing that. He's picking the guy that's, 4'7" and 350. What is he thinking?
Yeah, I know. It's just, this is out of control. This administration is so out of control that they are temporarily appointing people. Then they use the same person using a title that does not apply to them, running around to different media outlets and calling him ambassador, and he's not correcting them. Here's the thing. It's like me going around, hey, I was a temporary supervisor at work one time. So I'm going to go around and just, if everybody calls me supervisor, I'm just going to hey, everybody call me supervisor or manager. It's like, it was a temporary title. It was never, and he should know better. I mean, if you're in the know and you're like, hey, this is going to be a temporary job assignment for 6 months, okay. But he should have known better than to keep using that title around. And he should have corrected people saying, actually, it's a temporary position. Only people that are actually, confirmed through the U.S. Senate actually can be called a U.S. ambassador for life. But he just does whatever he wants, just like the administration, always constantly doing whatever they want. So, voting ambassador running around for the this Islamic State committee or whatever he's running now. So, just another wonderful thing that the Obama administration continues to do. Continue to pushing this craziness. But let's go on to the next one. Here's an interesting one. Breaking news. I don't know if this is really breaking anymore, but the Gateway Pundit, and I picked this up off Drudge because it was pretty interesting. The Teamsters, of all people, they like, it's almost a guarantee. It's like a lock. You can go to Vegas and bet on this and make money all the time. They go and they try to go for Democrats. But apparently, breaking news from the Gateway Pundit, Teamsters withhold endorsement for Hillary and want to meet with Donald Trump first. Kind of crazy, folks. So Teamster officials met behind closed doors today. The union refused to endorse Hillary Clinton for president. The officials told Fox News they want to meet with Donald Trump first. I love this kind of stuff. This is the best stuff ever. They don't want to be involved with someone that's probably going to prison. Why would they put all of this money and all of this time behind somebody like Hillary Clinton if it's all for nothing? I wouldn't want to put my money behind somebody that's probably going to go to prison and has an ethical and moral dilemma of telling the truth. And I'm not a big union guy by any means. I'm not. But the Teamsters, they do not want to get behind the presumptive Democrat nominee. They want to wait and talk to Donald Trump first. Because here's the thing. If Donald Trump has a good economic policy that's very friendly to manufacturing, shipping, and getting people back to work, the Teamsters have a great motivation to talk to him. Because that will increase jobs and technically increase their power in the unions. Because if they get more people in the union jobs, makes them more powerful in terms of negotiating because I have more people under their wings. Now, I don't I don't endorse unions, but I can see where they're coming from. Because here's the thing. If you have an economic downturn, all they're going to do is they're going to lay off people. So the unions get weaker and weaker anyways. These unions are so desperate right now, they would like to talk to Donald Trump, a Republican, before they even think about endorsing Hillary Clinton. I can imagine that screaming match in a Teamsters union. A bunch of union members saying, hell no to Hillary Clinton. Why would we get behind somebody that's getting investigated by the FBI right now for serious violations? This is ethical violations. She is, and here's the scary part. Who's to say there wasn't some Teamster emails going through that server at one point? Who's to say there wasn't? So as the FBI continues to dig through these emails, who knows of the treasure trove of information they're going to find? Who knows? And I just want to see some more of the emails, because it's going to be very interesting to see when they dig into this, who's going to be coming up. So the Teamsters want really nothing to do with Hillary Clinton right now, which is amazing. And I don't think they really want to do anything with Bernie Sanders, because Bernie Sanders is going to, watch the whole country burn because of his policies. If Biden gets in, they might want to talk to Biden. But Hillary Clinton's ship has gone to sail, and it's the Titanic, and it's almost hitting the iceberg. And the iceberg is that email scandal. So we're going to see how Hillary Clinton fares there. But Stephen, what do you think about this Teamster thing? Good, bad?
I think they see the economic writing on the wall, and I think they know that Trump's running big on his political promises as far as the economy and getting things back in order. Hillary's not. Hillary's going for women's rights and equalities and free handouts and this, that, and the other. Kind of, Bernie Sanders head and shoulders esque.
Yeah.
Trying to steal his thunder on that one. You got to keep digging for off the shoulders, man. Brush your shoulders off, Bernie.
Yeah.
I think they kind of see where everything's going, and I think that's their main angle working this. I haven't had a chance to read the whole story. I read a little bit of it, but from just my opinion and what I've read, I think that they know that things are not going well right now, and the Donald and his hair and all its glorious goofiness is potentially going to be able to do a lot more than Hillary can, because Hillary, I would love to figure out how many times she's actually talked on economic standpoints. I mean, maybe a handful of times, and that's where it's at. And the Teamsters are all about making money, and they're all about, having people employed and getting jobs and themselves making money. Well, if the economy's going to hell in that Chinese-made handbasket, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. And I think that these unions, they've got it. If they allow the government to destroy sectors of the economy, then they're going to go out of business too. And it's any good corporation or entity wants to survive, they want to survive. And if they can help us get a Republican elected to the presidency that can get things turned around, hey, let's be friends together and let's get this thing done. Because socialism and communism does not work. We're going down a pathway of destruction. Let's talk about this. This is some really concerning stuff out of the Washington Examiner here, Stephen. Facebook apologizes. Now, when Facebook apologizes, it means they got into a lot of damn trouble. They don't just apologize. So it says Facebook apologizes for quote-unquote error that banned reports on illegals taking jobs from Americans. It's in WashingtonExaminer.com, and we'll try to get this posted tonight as well. It says Facebook temporarily banned users from posting reports by an immigration watchdog analyzing federal statistics that show immigrants in general and legal immigrants specifically are taking a big share of new jobs that come open in America, according to the group producing the reports. The giant website cited an error causing the ban and apologized. There's actually a picture of it. It says, warning, this message contains blocked content. It says your message couldn't be sent because it includes content that other people with Facebook have reported as abusive. When the truth becomes abusive, you live in a fascist society, folks. Facebook is a publicly traded company, as if you're aware. And this Zuckerberg character has made billions of dollars along with his left-leaning friends in California. So I look at the stock price of Facebook. It's around today, close around about $90 a share today. Scary part is it's down about $10 a share. But their market cap, if you want to understand what market cap is, this is how much all the stock's worth. If we put all the stock together for Facebook, it's over $253 billion. That's how much that company is worth right now. That is really scary stuff. So when you've got that much money and that much power, power seems to be abused sometimes. So they're using this. of course, they're left-leaning. They're like, we want to live in a unicorn or rainbow society. We just want everybody to get along. Everybody should come in and go as they please. But that's not how things work. It's just not how things work. So when we talk about trying to get Americans jobs and the facts come out, Facebook apparently didn't like the facts. So the media, actually some good media outlets like the Washington Examiner, got a hold of this thing and said, we're going to post this and you're not going to like it. So they're like, oh, it's an error. No, someone programmed that into the database because there's certain keywords, I'm sure, that they ban on Facebook. So they probably banned that link. And someone has to program it. It's not an error, folks. Maybe it's someone's error in judgment, but it was not an error in the system. The system is designed to stop certain content. It stopped the content that they wanted to stop. But here's the thing. If you are a company worth over $250 billion, you better watch yourself. Because if you want to shoot yourself in the foot like this Facebook, you might be the big dog. Remember, MySpace was the big dog at 1.2. Or there's other groups like High Five and other groups back in the early to mid 2000s. MySpace decided to go very big, and they went with Fox, with News Corp. It destroyed it. It absolutely destroyed it. But if Facebook wants to go to the wayside, someone can create another social media giant and maybe take away Facebook. So Facebook, don't think that you're the big dog on the block right now. If you continue to censor people, one day it will come back and bite you. That's a guarantee. All right, let's go on to, I want to talk a little bit about the economy real quick. Stephen, if you want to jump in on this one, feel free. The economy is not good, folks. We talk about this all the time on the show, and it's worth reiterating before we get to the feel-good story of the day. The Federal Reserve, within the last couple weeks, said no to an interest rate hike. Honestly, they said they would raise rates if the jobs in the labor market looked good. They said no, but the unemployment rate was at 5.1%. So here's the facts. The banks and the Federal Reserve, which is not a part of the federal government, just as a hint, they do not feel the economy is good right now. Why? 94 million Americans don't work. Duh, that's a gimme. We have like about 47 million people on food stamps. We have people that have fallen out of the labor force. We have people getting multiple part-time jobs right now in this country. The labor market is not good. The people in the know that have common sense know these things. In general, the American people only hear 5.1% unemployment, but it doesn't capture all of those outliers, like the people that have lost their unemployment insurance, that have stopped looking for jobs, people at SSI, all those different factors all mixed in are not actually in that number. If you look at, just look at the numbers. I mean, 330 million people minus 94 million people, you can do the math. You can do the math. It's lies. You're being forced fed a lie by the federal government. The Federal Reserve realizes this. And with the economic situation in China, with gas prices very low right now, which is a sign of an economic catastrophe on the horizon. The last time gas prices were this low, we had the housing market crisis. This time we have a stock market crisis. The Federal Reserve has printed up so much money, so much stimulus, so much almost 0% loans to banks to get this economy going, that they've done it for so many years. People went to the stock market trying to get returns on their investments because CDs, savings accounts, all the bonds are terribly low percentage yields right now. Terrible. Common sense, economic sense. People are they're going to the stock market for trying to get better returns. What happens? Everybody gets in. Then all of a sudden it starts going down. People start to panic. So they start selling the hell of their stocks, just like they did in 08-09. They started selling the hell of everything. So this is what's happening right now. Everything is down right now, folks. If you look at your 401k, look at your emerging markets, just for example, I can guarantee it's over 20% down this year. Look at China, the Chinese stock market. It's been up 600, it's been down 700 points. It's down over 25% from its high this year. is over 28,000, now it's in the 20,000 range. Folks, it's real. If you don't believe me, look at the numbers. The numbers are not going to lie. This is not the unemployment rate lie. This is real. The Chinese economy is spinning wheels. They don't need fossil fuels. If they don't need it, we have an oversupply of fossil fuels, which means the demand is lower, the supply is higher. That means the gas prices go down, the diesel prices go down, which means there's an economic slowdown in China, which means the United States of America's citizens are not buying Chinese goods. The Chinese are scared to death. Their stock market's been crashing. What they've been doing, they arrested hedge fund managers that were causing it at first. Now they're giving money for the hedge fund managers to buy stock to prop it up. This is a house of cards that's going to fall, folks. If you do not believe it, you need to look at the signs. The signs are right in front of you, folks. If you don't get with it and I'm not trying to be Glenn Beck scary on you tonight and try to get you to good food prep programs and stuff. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not a financial advisor, but if you can't see what's going on in front of you, you're going to get hurt in your wallet. Be ready for it. Be ready. Do your own research, but keep this as your warning tonight. Your warning from Matthew Brower, the Brower Report tonight. Look at your 401ks, look at your IRAs, look where your money's at. Remember, these people that sell you mutual funds, these advisors, they get commissions. They're getting paid by off what you buy. So make sure that you do an independent look at your portfolios. This is not good. Not good at all. I'm just giving you a fair warning. Do not get stuck in this thing. Do not be a victim. Do not ignore the things that are in front of you. If you've got a bad feeling, trust your gut. It's God's way of saying to you, you need to look out for yourself. You know that intuition thing, that thing that happens in your gut, in your chest, like something doesn't feel right here. I think I'm being lied to by the media. Do you see the media, traditional media, Fox News and MSNBC and CNN and all these networks? Do you hear them say that the Chinese stock market's down over 25%? Do you hear that ever? No, you don't. You might hear it on CNBC or a financial network. You might, or Bloomberg. You might hear it there. But the traditional media does not want you to be scared. You know why? Because they're selling advertising to consumers, to these retailers, to these car manufacturers. If they scare you like crazy, you will not buy their products. Remember this. They're in the entertainment business, not the news business. It's a guarantee on the Brower Report. Look at how they're intertwined. Okay? Now, we don't have a millions of reach here. So if you want to show you like the information, you need to share it. This is not InfoWars, folks. I'm not going to try to scare you with some stuff. I'm trying to educate you on what's going on here. I am trying to get the word out. Things are bad. If you trust the mainstream media for your news, you are in some serious trouble because everything is intertwined. We are not making millions of dollars to have all these advertisers to please. The Fox News, and I'll repeat it, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, the mainstream media does not want to scare the consumer because they will run off their ad revenue. They will not tell you things are bad. They will not tell you the truth. I will tell you the truth. It is a guarantee I will tell you the truth. Look at the presidential debates. It was about entertainment. They're asking Donald Trump and Carl Fiorina about who's ugly, who's not. That is not how it's going to save this country. That's entertainment. That is TMZ stuff. Look at your Facebook feed. Before we get to the feel-good story tonight, look at your Facebook feed. I look at my Facebook feed all the time. I look at these different news outlets. They post this garbage. Watch this person pop this cyst on this person's head. Not safe for work video. They want you to click it. They want you to click on it. It's garbage, folks. Because you know why they want you to click it? Because they get paid for your clicks. For all the ad impressions of the website, they get paid. Wake your tails up. It is a scam. You are being lied to. You're being force-fed garbage every damn day of the week. You are living. You must wake up. If you do not wake up, you're going to be a victim of this. Don't be a victim. Don't click on this garbage and pay these news networks. I went after a news outlet today because they actually went after me. Saying, I call them not a news organization. It's like, actually, we are a news organization. You're wrong. Well, when you post garbage things about people popping zits and people, not safe for work, with tearing this girl's ear up because she put like this expander thing in her ear, that's garbage stuff. That's not news. That is just filler for you to click on something so they get ad impressions. They don't want to talk about the real things that are going on. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, folks. It's the truth. It's happening to us right now. It's like the Roman Empire. Remember, that old saying, if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it? Remember all the gladiators, all the entertainment in Rome, and then the senators were taking over things and giving, the emperor ultimate power, all the corruption that was happening. But the people were entertained. That's repeating history again. There's so many different outlets out there for media. The people are being entertained and they're not being educated anymore. They're not. Share the show. Tell your friends and family about it. It's time to wake up. The Roman Empire fell because of all this entertainment stuff. We're in the digital age of entertainment. Click here. Clickbait. All this stuff. Scary stuff, folks. Really scary stuff. Oh, just terrible. Terrible stuff. It's unbelievable. I'm beyond. I'm just beyond all this garbage that's going on in this country right now. It's just, I just want people to realize there is hope. Not hope and change. There is hope for this country, but you got to wake up. You got to wake up. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to get the feel-good story of the day because why do we do the feel-good story, folks? Because the people demand the feel-good story. So let's get to the feel-good story tonight. I want to be able to read it to you. We shared this on the Facebook site earlier today. It's a like and share. It's a GoFundMe account because we want to make sure that if you want to impact someone's life, this is a way to do it financially. Christopher Santa, 43, was struck in the liver, spine, and lungs. According to KMOV, his mother, Candace Santa, posted on a GoFundMe page. Surgeons have confirmed that his spinal injury cannot be repaired. Christopher was attending a St. Louis Cardinals game against the Brewers with his three brothers to celebrate his mom's 60th birthday, but he had to work Saturday morning at his job. So he left the game early with his girlfriend while the rest of the family stayed to watch the final inning. As Santa walked back to his car around 10:30 p.m., two armed male suspects in a black sedan confronted him and his girlfriend. After she gave him her purse, one perpetrator pulled a gun. Candace Santa told KMOV that's when they turned to run, and he shot them twice. Folks, he was a soldier. Had a girlfriend, parents, brothers. Just another tragedy. Is this Obama's America? I mean, America's about helping people. I mean, we're in 2015, folks. And we still have people robbing each other. This is crazy stuff, folks. So I encourage you to go to GoFundMe.com/5N52SG3G. We've posted this on the Facebook.com/PowerReport page. We want you to like and share to support this family for the medical bills. His life was changed because of some punk. Didn't have to shoot him. Did it anyways. They got what they wanted. They got the purse. They shot him in the back. cowards, absolute damn cowards. I don't know if they were caught, but if they get caught, throw that damn book at them. Death penalty all the way. Because here's the thing. You can't really rehabilitate that kind of just evil. We need to get people busy working and less busy committing crimes. If we can change this country by getting people jobs again, to keep them busy, to help themselves, we need to do that. We're in a crisis. We got people robbing people, like in this situation, then just turning around and shooting them in the back as they try to get away. This is not our America. This is nuts. So go to facebook.com/BrowerReport. Share this. Share this with your friends and family. Because I'm telling you right now, he's not getting an invite to the White House. He's not. He should be. An absolute tragedy, folks. But we, the American people, can change that. We can put some sort of bright light in the situation to help him at least. Because you know what? He's still got friends and family that love him still and care for him, and they don't want him to die. Now he may not be able to walk again, but you know what? Every day is precious. Because people have disabilities. Sometimes people cause them. Sometimes it just happens. But we can change the course of our country. We can do it. Dear God, we can do it. It's up to us to do it. The person in a fancy suit running for Congress or the Senate or the presidency by themselves cannot do it. It's up to us to do it. The everyday middle-class Americans, we control this. We control our own destiny. It's time to stop electing lawyers and career politicians and billionaires and millionaires. We need to elect people that get it. They know the struggle's real. We can do this, folks. We can. We just got to choose to do it. Well, thanks so much for everybody watching on Periscope, on YouTube, listening to blogtalkradio.com/BrowerReport. We greatly appreciate it. We're bringing more people on board to help us with the show, with our social media, with our graphics, with our Facebook page, sharing the information online. And I'll be looking for more co-hosts as well, probably, as we continue to expand, more producing. We're going to continue to expand this with people that care about the direction of our country. Do we agree 100% on everything? No, we don't. But I'm telling you, we probably agree on 90% of the stuff. And it's not like stuff that doesn't matter. It's stuff that really does matter. It really does. So remember, folks, go to facebook.com/BrowerReport. Give us a like. Give us a share. We are a grassroots effort to change the hearts and the minds of the American people. Because if we can change it, our kids and our grandkids they will inherit a much better country. Let's start caring about each other again. Don't let the government care, because the government doesn't care. It's about control. But we can care about each other. We really can. Thanks so much for listening tonight. And remember, we're off tomorrow night. So we're taking a break. But we'll be back live Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We may have a Friday show, so stay tuned. If you want the latest news and views that you can use, go to facebook.com/BrowerReport, and we will love to hear from you. Remember, post on our wall, message us. We will get back to you and let you know what's on our minds as well. Thanks so much for listening tonight. Good night.